Well, right now in New Britain, the Inspector General's office is taking over an investigation after an officer fired a gun at someone running from police.
Police say the person matched the description of a suspect they were looking for in connection to reports of shots fired earlier in the day. Your reporter, Anna Stansfield, is live outside the police department with what we know this morning.
Well, Tracy, Caitlin, once police found that person that they say fit the description of someone from that shooting earlier in the day, they tried to stop him while he was walking around the city with someone else. But the two of them ran away from police, which is when a chase began and shots were fired. Pinpoint News Tracker shows you how close the two incidents were to each other. The initial investigation only about a mile away from where the suspect was shot. We're told he was taken to the hospital for treatment. After the shooting, two firearms were found near the suspects. One next to them, another found on one of the people who ran away after they were taken into custody. State Police and the Inspector General have taken over the investigation, spending hours at the scene last night looking for evidence. And as the investigation continues here this morning, we still have several questions for State Police and the Inspector General. As soon as we learn more about what happened yesterday, we'll bring you that very latest information both on air and on the WFSB app. For now, though, your reporter live in New Britain, Anna Stansfield, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.